This is a heck of a morning, man. I'm feeling real good. You know what I'm saying? We got the we got the NBA Summer League about to start soon. I got about 3 sixes on the Summer League that I can't wait to see. But this is the deal. Um, I haven't gotten a chance to watch the Fever versus Lynx yet. So what I'm doing, I'm tuning into that right now. And we're going to see exactly how Stephanie White won. And the reason I entitled this Stephanie White Defeat Fever fans is very simple. Fever fans are so sure and certain that, especially some of them, some of y'all, you know who I'm talking about. The Fever fans out there who talking about Stephanie White is out here as an agent trying to destroy the team, that Stephanie White was sent to hold back Caitlin Clark, all that kind of stuff, right? Because there's one thing I agree with. I agree there was some issues between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White. But guess what Stephanie White just did? She just told the young buck, right now, you need to sit down and shut the F up and listen to me. This is what Stephanie White just proved by this win. This is not no regular win now. Now I didn't see it, so that's why you didn't get a breakdown video. I'm watching it right now. Right? I'm just starting it out in the first quarter. And we're going to see how the Fever played to beat the mighty Minnesota Lynx. The Minnesota Lynx, and I don't want to hear it. This is a team that many people are picking to win the title. They are the favorite to win the title. This is a team that many people who are on this side of the coin toss, meaning Angel Reese fans, Chicago Sky fans, and so on, many of them, like my man Showtime, I ain't gonna say he picked Minnesota to win, but if I was to ask him who he thinks will win, I think he would pick Minnesota. I just really think so, just based off of a lot of conversations we've had and things he said. All right, so we're looking at what the Fever is doing. Okay. It looks like Minnesota starts out with just a five-out offense. Everybody's kind of spread around. And the Fever, it's easy for the Fever to actually counter that, but I get it. The advantage that the Fever have over Minnesota is Aaliyah Boston, period. You got Physicality on Aaliyah Boston. That is likely barbecue chicken. Physicality, though she's a great defensive player, she a little light in the ass against Aaliyah Boston. Got Atlanta Smith, okay, Tasha Howard on her. Okay, that's a good play there. Tasha Howard pushing the ball up. Look at that. She smoked the layup, though. And Tasha Howard should have scored right there. But I'm trying to tell you, right, that if there was any type of thing going on between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White proved to her and all y'all in Indiana, Fever fans and everything, that y'all need to listen to her. And if she says Caitlin Clark need to listen, need to do this, need to do that, then Caitlin Clark need to be listening, need to be doing this, and need to be doing that. Because look, we went out here and we beat the favorite for a title without your ass. It's time for you to listen. It's time for you to listen. Now, Physicality against Howard. Howard defending her up. They actually have a really good team that matches up against them, to be honest with you. Because the thing that the Lynx lack is a dominant big. They don't have that. You're going with Atlanta Smith, players like that, who's a good big, but she light in the ass. Leah Ball's gonna back her down all day and score. Now I'm trying to figure out how they beat the Lynx, because I still know if they play the Lynx in a real series, they would get smoked. I already know that. But what I want to get is insight as to what actually happened in this game. Could be that the Lynx was a little lackluster. Okay, Leah Boston, I like that. She aggressive. Courtney Williams with Lexi Hall on her. See, normally she would have Caitlin Clark on her, and she would just be barbecue chicken in the ass. But now you're able to put Lexi Hall on her in a situation like this. Or I guess they would have. I don't know who you would put Caitlin Clark on, because all the starting five of Minnesota can actually score. Kelsey Mitchell tries a little behind the back pass to Howard. Come on now, or to Boston. Stephanie White proved everything she got to prove. I don't want to see no more videos about Stephanie White not a good coach. I don't want to see none of that from no Fever fans, bro. You beat the Lynx without Caitlin Clark. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see none of that. You said it was luck, okay. I ain't gotta explain them losing to the Sparks without CC. You can go out there easy lose to the Sparks by not giving a damn, not taking it serious. What this shows is when the Fever are locked in and listening to the coach, they can pretty much beat anybody. That's what this shows. The Sparks game, that don't mean nothing. You can lose to anybody if you're not focused. Also, we can say that they were still getting adjusted to playing without Caitlin Clark. It takes a little bit of time. When you take an important player out of the lineup, and then you got a new starting five, and you implement a new point guard, and you're trying to figure out, am I going to go with Eric McDonald or Sidney Colson? The Fever had a lot of shit they was working on. That could have a lot to do with why they lost them games. Whereas now, they know. This is the lineup we're going with when Caitlin ain't there. We played a sufficient amount of games without her. This is what we're doing. This is the game plan. This is the opponent. Boom, let's do this. It's a big difference. Now, Physicality. Howard. That's a good score by Nafisa. Nafisa can pretty much score on anybody. Like, don't just tell me it's just a bad game. There's reasons for those for bad games. Okay, good defense by Nafisa. Courtney Williams, bad pass. But the defense, Eric McDonald's defense interrupted that right there. Because you're not going to tell me they just didn't show up for a Commissioner's Cup game. I'm not buying that shit. No, the Fever beat them. You're not going to tell me you just, oh, that's Commissioner's Cup game, we're just not going to show up. That doesn't happen. Not with professionals. Got money on the line. Oh, they're going to show up for that. Stephanie White put in a, I give her credit. Now, it was a couple of very uncharacteristic things when I looked at the stats, right? Like, the Minnesota Lynx had 13 team assists. I need to figure out how that happened. Either they just didn't care and didn't try, or the Fever played some of the best defense they ever played. Now, it's possible that the Fever are a really good defensive team with Caitlin Clark is out. Now, I'm dead serious because now you can run McDonald, who's solid. You can run in Howard, who's solid. You got Hull, who's solid. You got Chelsea Mitchell, who can play defense at times. And then you got Leah Boston, who's solid on defense. That's not a bad defensive five right there. It's not bad. And then they're able to play fast or slow with this lineup. When you got the other person, you can't play slow. She start acting all, oh yeah, I don't like this, I'm not enjoying this, and all that kind of crap. You got to deal with that. And then you got to deal with the fact that, hold on, let me fast forward this, man. Commercial breaks don't mean nothing right now. So Minnesota grabbed a little quick lead, I see. They came out of the out the John, out of the timeout. Seemed like they just put on a quick run. I gotta see what happens, y'all. Like, I didn't watch this game because I just didn't care about it. But I gotta catch it just for the sake of the channel. And because, you gotta cover the Fever if you want to cover the WNBA, right? Because they're just what everybody is talking about. I don't get it, but that's what the people want. All right, so the offense they basically doing. Okay, they're running horns right now, not double horns. Okay. All right, good set. Chelsea Mitchell, okay. Almost turned the damn ball over. Ari McDonald, okay. Horns. Howard hustling. Damn, Howard hustling. I'm behind off. Y'all better respect Howard because she out there hustling. You know what I mean? I hear all that crap y'all be talking about Howard. She hustling. What we talking about? Courtney Williams missing her middies. Now, normally that'd go down. That defense was horrible. She got open real quick. Ari McDonald used those screens real good. Mitchell. Yeah, you got that line. One of the girl on her. I forget her name, number 6. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, these girls that Minnesota guy, I messed their names up. You got Lana Smith. Who the other one? Number 6. I know Courtney McBride. I know they're not using McBuckets a lot here, man. What's up with McBride? She might be a little off this year. Landon Smith hit a three. All right, so 16-9 Minnesota. All right. But I got to see what happened. TJ says the Fever may very well be a better team without CC, better defense, better ball movement, less turn. I'll put it this way. I think they're an easier team for Stephanie to coach without Fever, without Caitlin. I think, though, the ceiling with Caitlin is higher if you can get Caitlin to buy in. The ceiling with her is higher because, you just have those moments where she's on fire. You got, her assisting and stuff like that. I just think they got to find something in the middle, right, where you can get this defensive production and you can get this type of half-court offense with Caitlin Clark. If you can somehow work that out. I don't know if that means a little off the ball for her with Ari McDonald running, but you still make sure Caitlin get the ball in transition. I don't know. But what CC fans want, they just want CC ball. They just want CC with the ball all the time, and they want four other players just running out there looking for passes. Trying to get yourself open so CC find you, or set screens for CC and just get open. That's what they want. But what they don't understand is that's going to have one happy CC, and you're going to have four unhappy other players. Why? These players can fucking play. Josh Howard can play. Leah Boston can play. Whatchamacallit, Kelsey Mitchell can play. These players can play. Even though they can play. They're not going to be happy with just running around, everything based on her like she's fucking, LeBron James or something. It's like, come on, man, stop it. They're not going to be with that. They got to find a way to balance it out. But I'm not going to go so far to say they're better without Caitlin Clark. But this team is way more manageable for Stephanie White without Caitlin. I put it that way. Without her unique, I'll say, game. All right, so right now Minnesota got a 9-point lead. I got to see what happened. Now they just brought in the 304. My girl, Stephanie. Sophie Cunningham. They brought in 304 Cunningham. Colson in there too. Okay, Colson hits a three. So we 12-18. Love Song says when CC comes back, it's going to be a mess. Probably. I think there will be a couple of games where they're going to have to readjust to the way she plays. Like, with CC, it's like she doesn't blend in well, right? They all get to blend to her. And when you're doing that, that's just a harder situation to coach, period. 1-0 Willie Cap. Yeah, Cap this. Cap. Explain yourself, Willie. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear about that Cap shit. Don't be passive aggressive. You got something to say, my brother. Say it. And say it with your chest, too. Passive aggressive, just saying Cap. What that mean to me? Tulip plays. What up? What up, Fulay? What's up, Tulip? We're going to let all the haters talk, Tulip, except for people that come in with stuff, Lamar Jackson, all that, all of them, they can just go. But I feel like arguing today. So we can, people, as long as they bring basketball points, we can do that. Let me see. C. Glazer says CC has a lot of turnovers because she makes a lot of really high risk lob passes down low to Boston. So Boston gets easy buckets when she catches those passes. That's one of the ways she gets turnovers. Yeah, that ain't the only way. To the play says, notice how Fever's defense went up and turnovers went down last night. And they out-assisted Minnesota, which is amazing. Minnesota is never out-assisted. And I got to figure out what happened here. Right? Were they playing the passing lanes that well? Was the length bothering them that much? Or did Minnesota just get out of sorts and then they just start trying to play hero ball? I got to figure out what happened. One Willie says, "My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid, sir. That's what's on my mind." Okay, I'm gonna just start ignoring you. You ain't making no basketball points. All right. I got to see what happened in this game. Well, Stephanie White obviously proved to all you CC fans, y'all need to be listening to her. Not listening to CC and all them little content creators who think y'all should be playing her ball. No. Listen to Stephanie White. We see how the Fever FR long as CC not shining. Yeah, yeah. They think this is boring. Like, because they not seeing logo threes. They coach. Like, winning is boring to them, right? They'd rather lose but have one player just making a bunch of logo threes. That's the Fever fandom or the CC fandom in a nutshell. Like, let's say they went out there and lost this game, but CC scored 40. They'd be happier with that. Because then they could just blame everybody else, not CC. Chicago Sky. Good morning there. Chicago Sky. The Indiana Fever got, or Chicago Cheetah said, the Indiana Fever got into the passing lanes and made everything tough for Minnesota. All right, we're gonna see. I believe it because that's tough. That shows Stephanie White can coach. She has a team that's closer to her whatchamacallits, Connecticut Sun. Even though you don't have an Alyssa Thomas, who's one of the most unique players in the game. So Ari McDonald. I love the ball movement though, man. Nobody's holding the ball more than 3 seconds. That's the difference. That's called winning basketball, man. I know y'all don't like that. Y'all just want to see circus bullshit. But winning basketball is sharing the ball, makes it difficult for a top-notch defensive team like Minnesota to figure out what you're doing. Right? Y'all probably lose this game with season because it's easy to figure out what y'all doing. High Logic says, yep, they'd rather lose. Yeah, hell yeah, they'd rather lose. Because so they can prove their point. This team ain't nothing without Clark. You know what I mean? Bro, you just beat the favorites to win the title in a game that mattered because ain't no way you're going to tell me Minnesota not trying to win a Commissioner's Cup. Real Money says, you come with some of the wildest logic to hate on CC. Minnesota lost fair and square. Fever, a great team both ways. What do you mean wild logic? Explain the wild logic. And the word hate don't mean nothing to me. Prove what I'm saying is wrong. Tell me what I'm saying is wrong. Don't just tell me that what I'm saying is hate. That means you can't explain yourself, sir. Hulan says Reese played the second team in the second quarter. That's what happened. The Lynx could never regain the rhythm. Okay. All right. I guess I'll be seeing that soon. I want to know what happened. You know what I mean? Reese is big fisted with 2 rings versus CC with 0 rings. CC's high risk top passes low down to help Boston's game a lot. Boston is heavy. CC's early passes enable Boston not to. Well, they help each other. The thing about like it ain't about just helping Boston. Is they also help CC too, right? They help each other. It's called teamwork. Because if Boston drops the passes, then y'all gonna blame her. So give her credit when she catches them. It helps CC as well. Brown and Nash were talking about the Pacers offense on the last pod with KD. Good stuff. Okay, I'll check that out when I get a chance. You so right, brother. You see things exactly how I see it. Obviously, common sense. Says Brenda Tisdale. Okay, you're a wise woman. Ari doesn't want those passes because they are high risk. Yeah, high risk. You can't do high risk against great defenses. That's just dumb. Like even Magic Johnson wouldn't do that. If you know he's playing against some scrubs, that's when you get 18 assists. You can do all this and that and behind the back. You try that against the Pistons, you gonna be going home sad. Try that against the Trailblazers back in the day. You go home sad. And I'm noticing, man, Courtney missing the middies. Normally, those are automatic. Howard driving. Howard was mad aggressive, man. I like the way Howard's playing. She's able to play from the top of the key. When Clark is in there, they want Howard all in the post. She playing from the elbow a lot. Good play by Courtney Williams to Atlanta Smith. 22-12 right now. So you said in the second half, you said telling me in the second quarter, when Reeves made that lineup switch, you saying that's what happened. All right, we're gonna see. Highlight says people need to understand CC handles a mid that leads to turnovers as well. At least to some, yeah, yep. It's a combination of a number of things. That is one of them. Angel Reese transferred from Maryland to LSU. Meanwhile, CC played with one team her whole career. So, you can transfer if you want. You don't want to transfer, don't. The Leafs played horribly, and the game is just look rigged. Look rigged. I don't know, bro. You talking about a game where there's money on the line in Commissioner's Cup? I don't know if you have a good job rigging that. Unless you paying them anyway under the table and you're not letting nobody know. And you say, yeah, go ahead and throw that joint for the fever. And then I don't even understand why the league would do that. Like, what does it prove? The league wants to promote Caitlin Clark. There's no part of the league that does not want to promote Caitlin Clark. Believe that. People who tell you that stuff talking dumb. That's the logic you need to just reject. Is anyone that tells you that the league doesn't want to promote the person that sells out seats and all of that? Like they'll tell you 1 minute she sold out this and she doing that, this and that. Then they'll tell you the league trying to not promote her, keep her down. Like, and that's the stuff people be believing. CC fans. So after that first quarter, Howard turned it up. Okay. Yeah, I see she aggressive as hell. They got McBuckets on Howard right now. And it's like McBuckets ain't doing nothing. She not right from. Oh no, McBuckets is on the bench. Yeah, my bad. It's who is that? Number 15. Let me see who these. Now you got Heidemann in there right now running the offense. Man, they got a number 15 look just like McBuckets, man. Breathe. Oh no, she don't look like McBuckets. I'm tripping. Oh, the Shepherd. Yeah. Shepherd put an L. Nice move on Howard. Nice little spin move from the foul line. That made me have to make the grunge face. Ari McDonald handling. Gets number 2. I like number 2, man. That's the thing about they got guards for days in Minnesota. Okay, nice pass from Howard to McDonald. That's the thing, man. Kayla need to add to her game a little bit. You know, cut to the basket. You can get easy points like that. You can get your 19 easy. You know, it ain't got to be just logo threes. Get the ball out to Howard. Howard is a veteran who can pass. Other people on the team can fucking pass. Be the recipient of some of those passes. See, when you playing without Caitlin and you playing like with just these players, like Stephanie can coach everything. Have everybody being a passer, everybody being a catcher, everybody being a shooter. That's basketball. Sophie, 304, Sophie. Drained that. Okay, K304. Real Money says AB is a dominant big. They love when AB was being pushed around. Now the team being physical back with teams they acting like it's too physical. Oh no, AB is physical. AB is a Dawn Staley disciple. Dawn Staley, she a disciple of these streets of North Side, where you produce Philan Speaks and people like that. So yeah, we about that physicality. We love it. We embrace it. We worship physicality. Bring it. Some of the hardest places to play basketball is is a place called Graterford. The yard in Graterford. You want to play ball out there? You gonna know what it is. So hell yeah, believe Boston is physical. She's so physical it gets on people's nerves. Brittany Griner be ready to knock her ass out. Yeah, Boston is annoyingly physical. But she probably also was getting that rookie treatment, and that turned her into more of a monster. But all them Dawn Staley players, I don't understand. Man, Leah Boston be cheating though. She crazy as hell. She take the ball. She had the ball 2 hands and then she used that shit like an anvil. Woo! And then go up. Leah Boston crazy. Like I don't mind it, but I'm just saying it is what it is. One Willie, sports fan. That's what I keep trying to tell this goof that game was sloppy. That goof, nigga, get your ass up out of here. How about that? When you come to the King's Castle, what you gonna do is you gonna be respectful. All right, so you gonna get 5 minutes. Next time you get in the day, bitch. Don't come in here and don't come in here disrespecting me in the third person. You gonna say it to me. I might give you just 1 minute for that. But if you do the third person to somebody else talking about me, you got to go. I see Glazer. Lynx had a period of 8 minutes, 13 seconds without a point to end the second quarter. Damn. It took all confidence from the Lynx team. Hmm. I got to see that. We in the second quarter right now. 5:39 to go in the second quarter. Dave Haskett. She has a hard time catching the pass. She's a ball hog. Once she gets it, doesn't come back out of regardless. Doesn't once she gets it, doesn't come back out regardless. Who are you talking about? Dave. What are you talking about? Real Money says, except the players they don't want to promote her. Would you vote a top three player ninth if you wanted to promote them? She's not top three. That's the first problem. So the premise of your question, I can't even answer it. I disagree with the premise. Courtside Junkie, I know this about to be some bullshit, says, if it was rigged, it was for the Lynx. I'm surprised Kathy didn't show up in a Minnesota dress. High Logic says, Courtney was overthrown in second quarter. Look at some of her poor choices when driving to the basket. Okay. To the play says it wasn't rigged. People just played with it without CC. ah. And Lynx had a stinker. Damn. Now that was a shot in the post that Fee normally gonna make. She off. I don't know what it is. Did they play the night before or something? Like why are they so sluggishly? They're not hustling loose balls. They're not doing a lot of the shit you gotta do. And then like I said, they only had 13 assists as a team. The Lynx religiously lead the league in assists as a team. Let me see. What are they doing? Are they playing 5 out, passing around, Fee misses. Colson pushing the ball up. Leah Boston attacking like a big monster. Rebound to Colson. Mitchell for 3. She misses. All right, Lana Smith with the rebound. Good take by Heidemann, but she misses. Yeah, they are missing a lot of shit. It ain't like the Fever's. It's not like the Fever's defense is swarming or suffocating. It's like they are just missing. They're able to get to their spots and missing. Mitchell. So they off is part of it. I'm not going to deny that. They just kind of like missing easy shit. All right, Fee bringing the ball up. 5 out offense. That's part of the problem too. That damn offense, man, designed to shoot threes. I hate 5 out offense. Chicago Cheetah says Minnesota Lynx are overrated basketball team. I don't agree with that. The Indiana Fever are the number 1 3-point defending team in the league for a reason. Are they? Gotta check that out. See, they just making up numbers. Fee passed 1 million votes too, and that's despite not getting an Asian fan vote. So it's an ugly game, good play because neither team is able to get in a flow. There's reasons for that, bro. Like I don't understand the concept of an ugly game necessarily. Sometimes you're just playing good defense, But what I can't accept from that is this is a game where there's money on the line that they can make outside of their contract. There's no way you come into this game not wanting it without the desire. So I don't agree with that. Sometimes you can't get in the flow because of the defense. It isn't always just you can't get into a flow. Boston against Alana Smith. See, this is the type of game Boston loves. Boston loves a mucky, ugly game because she's physical. She can bring that South Carolina, Dawn Staley, North Philly vibe to the joint, Say AB is not going to get pushed around. She's going to stand up. Yeah, facts. Said trolls and spammers coming through. Yeah, just I don't mind the trolls, but the spammers, yeah, we got to get rid of them. They went 8 minutes with no scoring. Crazy. Yeah, you can't win like that. That's like just going straight cold. So think about it. Say people who voted for Caitlyn voted for yeah, of course. V and A, Fee and AB. You think Caitlyn people voted for Fee? Why would they do that? Is that like an anti-Agent Wilson thing? So they had a day off too? That's crazy. Highlight says you don't vote a player ninth. There are only 4 slots. She didn't get top 4 votes from players. Real Money says if they voted for who they liked and no other player had a problem with playing in Indiana, why would the lie now be she didn't get votes because her fans didn't want her in Indiana? Millions hit different. I don't quite get what you're saying, but Courtside Junkie says, don't forget CC 32 points against the Liberty is what got them to the Commissioner's Cup. Fever, best undefeated Liberty, and now just gave best team in the league that work. Okay. Right, I get it. It looks that way. But the Liberty you'll be facing probably won't be the Liberty you face that day. And like I said, when we were watching that game together, that game against the Liberty is not a game Caitlin Clark is going to do very often. It's not a game anybody's going to do very often. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, games where players they shoot 10 threes and maybe they hit 8 of them. You can't count on that. That's having an outer body experience, those types of games. What Caitlin Clark is going to provide is what she does consistently. That's what's more important. What do you do consistently is the question. Not what you did on the best game of your life. Right? That's just not how that works. Say Fee looked quite annoyed and not like herself in the game. Why? Why do you think? Why do you think? Oh, let me fast forward this, man. They keep having those damn commercials, man. Look at Cunningham annoying ass. Cunningham be having a forearm all in your fucking clavicle and shit. Man, I'll be the punch Cunningham right in the stomach, man. If I was a woman. Cunningham wide open. Damn. Okay. 304 Cunningham. This is like the second or third 3 she didn't hit. I'm gonna see. Oh, Snizzy. So Fever just grabbed the lead with that. So this must be the cold streak y'all talking about. Yeah. Fee tried to push. Boston stopped her. Missed again. Rebound Howard. Mitchell pushing. Good defense now, Fisa. Good defense, Fee on Mitchell. Mitchell hard to stay in front of. See, Fee got that wingspan though. She got good feet to be someone that's not like supremely athletic. She got good feet. Tulip plays says Kathy changing the tiebreaker from point differential to head-to-head help for sure. Kathy wants that revenue. They about to get some money though, because I heard for those new teams, like prior to the new teams, they were charging 50 million just to join the WNBA. So that's what the Valkyries paid. That's what Toronto paid. But they said Josh Harris from Philly, he got to pay like 75. I think they charging him 75 million. That's crazy to charge. But Josh got money. That ain't nothing to Josh. Josh owned he owned the Rangers in hockey. He owned the Washington Commanders in football, which I hate the fact he owned the effing Commanders because he playing against the Eagles. I don't like that shit. And he owned the Sixers. So, you know what I mean, 75 million, he like, yeah, whatever, all right, boom, boom. But the point is, I think they making that from Cleveland too, and maybe Detroit. So they about to, that's crazy. Kathy better do the right thing with that bread. And then they got to kick out money for new facilities. Because you know, that Philly team going to have all the best stuff because the Sixers got a crazy facility out in Camden. They got that. I think Sixers about to build a new stadium too. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they're going to have the ladies basketball team play at the Core State. I mean, the First Union Center that's there now, or if they're going to do something different. I don't know. Where you from? DVD says. Peace to you. Can't say she haven't won anything now. That's over with. Sneakers drop, Commissioner's Cup, and captain of All-Star team. We up now. You gotta admit. What? What do you mean you can't say she hasn't won anything? You know what anything means? It means a championship. That's what that means. What do you mean that's over with? And the sneakers drop. I didn't see Caitlin's sneakers yet. I'm gonna check them out. You know, because like Asia sneakers, like I don't care about buying it just because it's your favorite player. That's a thorough. That sneaker is hot. I want to see like what Caitlin's sneaker looks like. Because honestly, I don't know. Like her, like people who wear her sneakers might be white people. Now, white people might have a different taste when it comes to sneakers, especially white people from different parts of the country. I don't know. So they don't like Asia Wilson, of course not, because Asia Wilson is, she's honest, and she's not a dumb black person. They like dumb black people. Let me see. I voted for Fee every time, and I'm 100% Fever fan. Also, Jay Jones, she's cool. I voted for Hamby too, because she's hot. You think Hamby's hot? Okay. High Logic says, I think CC fans just voted for CC and no other player. Well, my man Pro Charge Mopar says he voted for Fee. Uh, all the Fever players in Fee and Kiki stop Asia and Angel. Yeah, they try to push Kiki Iriafen to oppose Angel Reese. For whatever reason, I just think that type of stuff is weird. But that's the type of stuff they do. They very weird. Trill Kevin says that Liberty team ain't have their best player in Jones. Exactly. But we ain't gotta tell them that. They'll find out. Chicago Cheetah says I voted for Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, and Ariel Atkins, and Kiki Iriafen, and Asia Wilson every day, and Kelsey Mitchell. I like that. I definitely voted for Angel and Camila. Camila probably gonna make the All-Star next year though. She kind of got competition at the center spot, but she just really started coming into her own this year. So if Camilla keeps up the pace that she's been going on like last 3 games, and her and Angel just dominate like that, if they continue the way they're going right now, Chicago will make the playoffs. If they continue that way. But we got to get 20 from Ariel Atkins every night. We got to get 20 from Ariel Atkins. We got to get 20 from Ariel Atkins. We just don't have enough guards to where she can't do that. She has to do that. Do that, we'll make the playoffs. Because I think we're sitting in the 10th spot right now. Ronaldo666 says reported. I don't know what that means. Explain yourself, right? Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to block you. Because I don't like you putting reported on there. I don't know what that means. I don't like anything that got to do with cops, authority, reports, snitching. I don't like any of those words. I'm allergic to any of that. So you want to put reported, and then you want to do it like a passive aggressive guy, right? Those two things I can't. I can't stand passive aggressive men. Only accept passive aggressiveness from like 13-year-old boys or less, because then you got to teach them. Listen, sir. Listen, son. Don't be passive aggressive. You need to do it this way. But when you're a grown man, like you got hairs on your balls, you got sperm and all that kind of stuff. Like in your body, you have actual testosterone, right? That is helping to motivate your actions, and you're passive aggressive. I don't really respect that right there. I got to figure out what you mean instead of you just telling me, you like to talk in codes, or you like to play the Riddler. Let me give you a riddle. I don't have time for riddles. I don't have time to figure out what you're saying. None of that, right? So I just had to block you. All right. JJ cooked us and AB couldn't stop her, so she got my vote. Laugh out loud. Courtside junkie. Bro, she gave them 32. Stop all the excuses. If you're talking to me, but this is the only thing. If you're talking to me, I don't know. You could be talking to someone else there. The only thing I'm gonna say about that game, what Caitlin Clark did against Indiana, it was a awesome first half. It was about perfect. But what I'm saying to you is, you can't count on those types of games. Not just from Caitlin, from anybody. Nobody plays like that consistently. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to count on that, then I feel bad for you. Go ahead. If they think she's going to make 80% from three and all of that, fine. I'm just saying. Exactly, Tulip. Of course, I Jackie says, so what? Did it happen or not? So we can talk about her bag. Yeah, oh my God. That's like, Mike, Kobe scored 81 in that game. Man, every day you got to look out for Kobe possibly scoring 81. No, even games where players score 50. Those are outliers. That's what they are. It's not what they're going to do on a given night. I don't know, some of y'all, man, y'all logic be out there, boy. Damn, man, I forgot to I forgot to put my coffee on, man. I'm gonna tell my son to put my coffee on. Damn. But what I do got, my breakfast about to be crazy. We got them Southern buttery biscuits, the flaky joints. Come on, man, them joints are sitting, about to go in the oven. Like, after you make them with the flour and all that, and you put the buttermilk and everything, you let them sit just for a little bit so they can rise a little bit. Just be about right, so that they flake properly. And then I got two ribeye steaks. Come on, man, them joints is like an inch and a half thick ribeyes, marinating right now. You put that garlic, that fresh garlic. You know what I mean? You slice it up real thin, like Robert De Niro did on Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? Not like I Robert De Niro did, but the boy, little thin John, Henry Hill, the boy played Henry Hill, and you put just a little bit of Italian seasoning, just a little bit, not a lot, but you mostly want like some good sea salt. You want some good pepper that you gotta grind up though. You know what I'm saying? The garlic, marinate that, and a little bit of Worcestershire. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening right now around here. As soon as I'm done with y'all, we're gonna have them steaks. We're gonna throw them joints right on the grill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what's about to go down over here. Steak and some Southern biscuits. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this. That's calling me right now. I ain't got my damn coffee. Y'all keep talking about Caitlin Clark. Listen, man. All right, let me go ahead. Let's get to this game. I'm up here tripping. Thinking about that food. Israel's name me the All-Star level game she had with Liberty Sky. Highlight says Fever versus Phoenix going to be straight up 90s NBA. Said, damn, that is. Yeah, I do got to see that. If Fever and Phoenix is going to be good. I got Fever getting smoked against Fever, though. I mean, against Indiana. And will Caitlin be back, by the way? Chicago triple-double. Atlanta, she played well. Liberty played well. Yeah, that is true. Caitlin had a good game opening night against Chicago. She played well a couple games. But she has been inconsistent. And what I'm talking about is not necessarily the raw numbers, but the percentages have been consistent. Because ultimately, was she 31% from three, and you know what I mean? It's inconsistency. It's not like Caitlin's been bad. She's been inconsistent. Linda 4, okay. I'm sorry that was real team play with or without Caitlin. It is an important aspect that needed to be cultivated on the Fever. Absolutely no one should be bitching about this win. I agree, Linda. I agree. Now, I'm using it as a teaching moment because, that's what I do. So Fever go up and half 32. We got to get to this game. Because I got to get to my steak and biscuits. Of course, our junkie says it's crazy how CC missed all these games and playing so bad, but still lead all guards in double doubles. Well, she has the highest usage rate on court side. Um, and how many guards actually are given the freedom that Caitlin is given to shoot as much as she wants, be the primary scoring option, while the primary ball handler and the primary assist getter? How many people have that? How many people run their team in that fashion? You know, hardly anybody. Because it's really not winning basketball. I know y'all think so, but really, it is proven to be 500 basketball at this level. I see Minnesota trying to play a little harder. The 30% usage is ridiculous. John just said, I saw Caitlin sneakers. What'd you think of them? I gotta look those up when I get a chance. Is it Kobe shoes one of the best basketball shoe to hoop and all Kobe's sneakers shoes sell out? You say it's a Kobe shoe? That's what it is? True, Kevin? Caitlin's shoes is a Kobe shoe? Yeah, we don't wear Kobe's in Philly. We love Kobe, of course, but his shoes, I never really like the sneaks. But I know in other parts of the country they sell. We like got crazy sneaker game in Philly. Like we only wear hot shit. We don't do none of that. You know what I mean? Funny looking stuff and all that. Kobe had the most space boat looking joints one time. Now, Kobe, what are you doing? Spent a little bit too much time in Italy, my fella. Spent too much time in Italy and LA. Cause LA, they don't really know nothing about sneakers. LA, like they even wearing Chucks, man. Especially street dudes, they even wearing Chucks. You know what I'm saying? In 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to LA though. Shout out to everybody in the hood and all that. But as far as dressing, you know what I'm saying? There's some Chucks and some Dickies outfits and all that. They ain't really dressers unless you're talking about Ice T. You know what I mean? Ice T know how to dress, but Ice T from Jersey. A lot of people don't know. He embraced Western culture, but he's from Jersey. But a lot of them guys, as far as dressing, nah, son. New Yorkers can dress, Philly Bulls can dress. DC, DC think they can dress though. Boys from like deep south, I don't really know. Like Alabama brothers, I don't know. I gotta see. I gotta see. ATL when I was out there, dress game wasn't that bad. They just ain't, you know what I mean? They ain't messing with us though. When we decided to do that. Israel says, I watch every game, not only Fever. Please stop. Ninth best guard, but most feared player in W history, though. It's not the most feared player in W history, man. Like, y'all say some stupid shit. Now, you was cool a minute you said that dumb shit. Most feared. Why would you be the most feared player in the history of the WNBA? Like, and why would you think that's an intelligent statement? You more feared than Maya Moore, Candace, Cynthia Cooper, Swoops, more feared than them. Why? Because of what? Logo 3? You got no mid-range game. You got no post game. So I'm fearing Logo 3s. And you're just the most feared player there is. You got no motherfucking real left-hand layup package. Really got no real right-hand layup package. Like, y'all make me go in. Like, I be trying not to... I try to be nice to Caitlyn, but y'all so, like, y'all come with such stupid shit to, like, you make me go in. And then I got to deal with being called a hater and all this other stuff. I really try to be fair. I do. Y'all be doing that, man. Y'all ask for it. Y'all really ask for it. James Wilson said something crazy. I'm not necessarily endorsing this statement, but he said people need to accept the CC hype. All great white hopes get it in any sport. I'm not saying I support this statement, okay? But that's the statement he made. Uh, Angry fan. Why you retract your message, angry fan? Huh? Say what you gotta say, bruh, man. You know what I mean? Give me something to cook your ass about later. I want all angry fan and courtside junkie statements to get through for sure. He retracted statements. John Gonzalez says I voted for Angel Reese, Camilla Cardoso, Angel Wilson, areas Atkins, Satu Sabali, Gabby Wills, Dejanay, Paige Beckers, and Kiki Iriafen. Courtside Junkie says CC leads all guards in double doubles, or it doesn't matter because it's not somebody else. Missed all the game, but ninth best guard. Best guard. All right, that's what does it for you, Courtside Junkie. That she leads in double doubles then. Okay. However, that doesn't do it for everyone else. It does it for you. And that's what's up, bro. All right, we can debate that some other time. Right? Because some of us judge players based on what they do on the other side of the floor. Like, do you stop anybody? Do you guard anybody? Right? It's not just offense, right? So we would have to get into that conversation as well. Then how important is defense to you? To me, defense is literally 50% of what I'm gonna guard, what I'm a vote you on. Why? Because as soon as you score, then what they do? You know what? The opponent gets the ball now, don't they? So now you got to play defense. Like immediately. Immediately when you score, the opponent gets the ball. It ain't every other time you score. It's not every two. No. Immediately when you score, the other opponent gets the ball. Now you got to play defense. So that defense shit is 50% of the time. Okay? So some of us look at that. Who can you guard? Who do you guard? Some of us think turnovers are really bad. I know y'all think they're not that bad. Y'all think like LeBron James getting averaging 3.4. And LeBron is a great player. So that justifies Caitlin's 5.9. Let me say that again. You MFers think that guys like LeBron, who might have averaged 3.4, and because LeBron is a great player, this justifies CC's 5.9. Damn near 6 a game. Do you know that if you look up in the history of players who play basketball, you won't find a player that averaged 4 assists in the season? You won't find anybody that averaged 4. She averages damn near 6. And y'all be like bringing up other great players. Like to justify it. Alright, so my point is, some of us consider those things. And that's how we might have a problem with the player saying she's nice. But I do believe part of the players didn't vote for her because they know the fans took care of that shit. Right? That's why I didn't vote for it. I do believe Caitlin Clark should be in the All-Star game. Just should be there. Not a starter, but I do think she should be in the All-Star game. But I didn't vote for her. And it's not because I don't think she should be in All-Star. It's because I know she's going to be there because of y'all. Like y'all little minions and whatever are going to do it. So she don't need my vote. That's literally the reason. And I think some of the players probably had a similar mindset. Like, she don't need our votes. She good. She got a million little casuals out there or whatever who think that she's all that. Tulip Plays makes an excellent point here at Courtside Junkies. Says, if you have 32% usage and the keys to the kingdom, you better. If I was allowed to smash turnover records by assisting chucking, I'd get assists too. Mary Connor says, CC is not the best guard in the WNBA. Paige Buckets is. Mary, I think that's a little premature. And I think Paige is better than Caitlin Clark, yes. But to anoint Paige as the best guard right now, I think is a little premature. I would say give her a few years. Tula Play says, Fulani, if Enrique is a shot chucker, then we need to start using assist chucker too for inefficient high turnover passing. That's funny. That's funny. That's good. HW says, Kennedy Carter been better and is better. Had to kick her out the league because she was better. Laugh out loud, always going to be the real CC. If Kennedy just could just get her just control her attitude, you know, she'd be fine. She could just control her attitude. James Wilson says, Fever fans didn't think doubles were not big when AR5 was getting them. Now they are big when CC get them. Good point, James. Only difference CC can have double digit turnovers with hers. Yeah, didn't she had a quadruple double one time or a triple double, right, with the turnovers. But they didn't put that out there. See, they're sending all the bots over because I'm speaking the truth. Angry fan. Fulan! Hello, sir. You see my champs last night? Champions. Don't you start hating as you usually do. Clark the GOAT. Clark wasn't even on the floor. He talking about she the GOAT. No, Stephanie White the GOAT. That's if you want to call somebody the GOAT. Call Stephanie White the I don't believe that, y'all. But I'm saying if you gonna call somebody the GOAT, you better call Stephanie White the GOAT because she found a way to win with all these players that you think ain't good. She found a way to beat the Minnesota Lynx with all these players that you think ain't good, with Kaylee Clark being over there being a cheerleader. That's what she was. The best place for them so far since she been there, and the biggest game for them that they won so far, she was a cheerleader. Now, what do you think about that? What you think about that? Courtside Junkie says more excuses. So you think high usage rate is excuses? Damn, I really um Courtside Junkie. You know what usage rate means? So I'm gonna say this before you try to call it excuses again. I'm gonna ask you, do you know what like usage rate means? Okay, it means like you literally have the ball in your hands more than other players, right? So if you have ball in your hands, like personally, I think Caitlin Clark should have more triple doubles, believe it or not, and I think she should average more points because of the freedom she has. I think she should have more triple doubles and average more points. When James Harden ran a similar type of offense and they did what they did, James Harden put up 60, 12, and all time he was going ham with it. When Russell Westbrook had a similar type of usage rate, he averaged a triple double. When the great Oscar Robertson had a 30% usage rate, he averaged a triple double for damn near for a career. That's what I'm saying. I think she should actually have more with that usage rate. You know. But anyway, you said sneakers look meh. I gotta check them out. DMC 0311 says, I respect blacks in all colors will never use N-word. Why do you feel you had to explain that? I guess that's a nice statement, I guess. Okay. High Logic says, Jason Whitlock keeps saying Stephanie can't coach and should be fired. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't listen to Jason Whitlock. I don't respect Jason Whitlock as a man or as a person that speaks. I have zero respect for Jason Whitlock. Zero tolerance for Jason Whitlock. Zero interest for what Jason Whitlock has to say, what Jason Whitlock thinks, what Jason Whitlock eats, what Jason Whitlock shits at, what Jason Whitlock is a relationship with. I have zero, absolutely no concern with Jason Whitlock. If he died today or tomorrow, I wouldn't bat an eye, would not care, would not remember him, would not send out an RIP. Okay? So I would not know what Jason Whitlock has to say. Say it's a Kobe shoe? Okay. I got you. So it's not really. So this isn't Caitlin's signature shoe drop yet. So we're still waiting for the actual. So it's probably going through a process of them figuring out, the design and something perfected that really fits her. And that's the thing. I think it actually took Asia a little bit, but I think it was a little easier probably for Asia because you can have an idea of her personality and what fits her. Same thing with Angel Reese. Like her personality is kind of known. Whereas Caitlin Clark, like what will that be? You know, um, and I don't think Caitlin Clark is as dull as some people think. You give her a little line on a State Farm commercial. She is able to execute it. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say it was hilarious or anything, but she did all right. You know, Um, on the mic, I think she's very cliche. Has nothing interesting to say, but sometimes that's smart. You know, that's the right way to be. Um, though there are moments when I think the real her comes out. But when the real her comes out, I think it's kind of whiny-ish when the real her comes out, right? But for the most part, I think she carries it pretty well. You know, it's fine. Um, but I think some of those things makes it difficult to decide on a shoe, a finalized product that fits her personality and who she is well. Will it be based on Iowa colors? Will it be based on Fever colors? Will it be, her favorite color? Whatever. These are all the questions. So Pro Charge Mopar, he put up Sophie 304's numbers, 13.7 rebounds plus 18. All right, 304. Did that thing, man. Did that thing. Yeah, two of the players has A1s are fire. Yeah. Whatchamacallit, Asia put out a nice shoe. That's a nice shoe. You ain't even got to know it's Asia's, and somebody might just buy those just because of where they look. You ain't even got to know the Asians, you know? Paul Price says, "Hey, Philan, don't know if you answered my question, but I wanted to ask, what do you think, what will the Fever do when Cece comes back? Are they going to make her a shooting guard?" What I think will happen is um, I don't think you can make her a shooting guard. I don't think that'll ever happen. 'Cause I don't think she will accept that. But I think they'll probably try a combination of her on and off the ball at different times. I think Kaylin will still be the primary ball handler, and she'll be the point guard. You know, I still think, especially in transition when they go to. But what I think they'll do more of is run sets. If her and Ari in the game, I can see them running sets when they go into the half court. You give the ball to Ari real quick to touch it, and then probably go back to Caitlin, right? And then sometimes Caitlin, that's when she'll look for the bigs. Then they'll run other sets where I think Ari will handle the ball. Caitlin will be, they'll try some off ball stuff. If Caitlin wants to be good off ball, I think she can be. It's a matter that she want to be that. That's what I think it'll matter. Um, what I would do, and I know this would piss Caitlin off, is I would um, what I want you to do is watch this player how they play, and it would be Paige Beckers. I ever watch Paige Beckers. I don't really think she copies off Paige Beckers anyway. Like if you look at Caitlin Clark year one and stuff like that, like I think when they played together on the Olympic team, the full court passes and stuff like that, a lot of that, I think she copied that stuff off of Paige anyway. But that's just me. But um, I would ever watch Paige. Like, see what she does. Paige can run off the ball, run around screens. She uses the screen as well. Like she sets screens well. She does all the little things. You can throw Paige in the post. With Caitlin, I know she doesn't have a post bag, so you can't really do that. But I would just have her watch Paige Beckers, see, and I would try to annoy her. I would tell her things like, I think, I would mention Paige a lot if I was Stephanie, just to get under her skin, so that Caitlin will try to outdo Paige. That'll get her to probably want to do some of that off the ball stuff and so on. James Wilson says, good win for Fever at Minnesota. Truth be told, Indiana is a better team without CC because Harry McDonald is a little pest on defense, which CC does not play. Interesting when CC comes back and becomes point guard. What I'll say is, I think Eric McDonald makes them a better defensive team and makes them an easier team to coach, I think, for Stephanie. Better team. I'm not going to say that yet. But this was a hella impressive win. This is the most impressive win they've had. Because I don't see anything wrong with Minnesota. Besides the way they're playing, it's constant 5-out bullshit, which I think is trash. But if that's the way they play, that's the way they play. Oh man, the defense is nice. Colson. Woo. Howard scored. Y'all got some championship players. Indiana 52-40. Indiana wanted this game. I'm gonna lose the next game though, because one thing about Indiana, maintain they can't maintain a winning streak unless it's against all bums. Like against Phoenix, y'all losing that. Lizzie Thomas just loves to destroy the Fever. That's like one of her passions. Y'all were great against Fever last year though. The Diana Taurasi, 800 years old Fever. Henry Fair, Fulan, I'm inviting you up on our show. We need a face-to-face debate, bro. We would shake the internet, trust me. Listen, you give me the subject. Give me the subject, give me the points, we're going to debate. I'll be there. Okay, we don't know cheesy, stuff. There's going to be points. We're going to have questions that we prepare for. We'll present our argument, and I'm fine with that type of debate, especially if it's on your platform. Pro Charge Mopar says, Tula plays Lexi was getting cooked, and Steph pulled her quick. Cece did a better job. Did a lot better job. Oh, SC did a lot better job. Sophie Cunningham. I don't know that Sophie is a better player than Lexi Hole, but I can understand. Maybe on that given day she did better. But I would take Hole over Cunningham any day of the week. Jonathan Gonzalez says, I'll be the same way for Land. Our fans be pissing me off the way they be disrespectful to other players to uplift CC. Yep. Angry Fan Sports says, I was on wrong profile. Oh, okay. Courtside Junkie says the way they guard her, say they fear. What's this guarding that you're talking about? She the most blitz player in history. All right, but this is what I'm saying. Y'all are assuming that the blitzing is totally because of fear. That's your assumption. Coaches can blitz because you're turnover prone as well. Now, that's what you got to kind of understand about strategizing in basketball. It's not just fear. Okay? Like for example, if her turnovers went down, they wouldn't blitz as much. I promise you. If the turnovers went down, they wouldn't blitz as much. Stephen Gallagher says, no good black quarterbacks in American football. All right. What you will be is hidden from the channel. All right, Courtside Junkie. But if someone else did it, y'all would have 1,000 videos. If someone else did what? We would have 1,000 videos. Tudor Plays says, Courtside Junkie, what about the way they hunt on defense? Every attacker licks their lips when they see. Angry Fan Sports, you big man, laugh out loud. Y'all would trade y'all entire team to get Clark. No, I wouldn't. Definitely wouldn't do that, sir. Last two games did improve a lot. First, she started Ari. Second, she did not play Turner, or only used her in last minute when the game had been won. Said turnovers, you mean for Lanata? So yeah, turnovers, yep. If you talk about the triple-double, yeah, she had the triple-double with 10 turnovers and 10 points and assists. Tasha Howard got the MVP. Yes, CC fans wanted her gone. Yeah, of course. So they wasn't talking that CC ish when Ryan Howard locked her ass up. Frustrated CC as many guards a year. Why did she just CC the game? Something she didn't really learn during her college. Exactly. I agree. They don't want CC to learn though. These people think CC knows more basketball than White. That's how CC fans think. Fever fans got a secret weapon now to handle the ball if CC starts getting locked up. Ari McDonald. If they use her, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. August Max says White has proved nothing. She has been given the keys to the car, just as she had in Connecticut. She has never made it out of the semifinals. Clark will obliterate all the WNBA records. I think she just proved that she could beat the Minnesota Lynx without Caitlin Clark. That's what I think she just proved, August Max. Okay? Remove the emotion and you see facts. Those are the facts. Pro Jordan Mopar, CC needs the ball on inbounds and in transition, and then if no play, give it to Ari back and forth, depending on defense opponent. I agree. She needs to watch Sabrina. Yeah, I agree. Then it's PC Gaming. I agree with that. I forgot about Sabrina, but you're right. But I know like Paige that would get under her skin. That would get under her skin. That's why I said Paige. Since she would probably flip if they suggested watching Paige. Exactly. If I'm her coach, that's what I'm gonna do. I try to push buttons. I actually like Ari McDonald and is a better point guard than Caitlin. That traditional point guard, yeah, she is. James Wilson says, Philan refs let the game be played physical. That's okay, which played well enhanced for Fever. However, that physicality would not sustain because the league would not allow with CC playing. Felicia Daniels said, did you see the video of Clark saying, I just know the league is sick right now? Then Boston says they're mad. So now they're rubbing it in the player's face. You can tell she never won anything. I got to see that. Caitlin said that the league is sick because they won. See, this is the thing, man. Caitlin, boy, you. See, this is why I don't want to hear about her being on target. She talks shit. You know, when you talk shit, you make yourself a target. That's what you do. You got to back that up when you start talking that shit like that. Minnesota saving their strength for the real games. I don't know. That was money, though. He said Lynx were paid off. No way they played that way. Jonathan Gonzalez, Arias better handles and less risky passes. That doesn't make her a better point guard. Those things kind of do make you a better point guard. Yeah, they kind of do. Listen, I'm not going to say Arias is a better player than Caitlin Clark, but she might be a better point guard. Right? Is real talking about Jonathan. I'll let y'all argue without interfering. Says Felicia Dead. Cece still hasn't won anything. She didn't play. Yeah, right? See, they destroyed my team. Jared Bears channel. They destroyed my team and turned it off at halftime. That locker room action was insane. Colson got CC from behind, scared the ish out of her. CC jumped. They funny. All right, so I kind of got an idea what happened here. So basically, man, look. This was a master class. I don't care what nobody says. This is my my breakdown of the game. My final words. Stephanie White proved to all of Feverland and all of CC universe, okay, that any type of riff or beef that was happening between them, she won. She's the winner. She's the winner. We never seen the Fever with an impressive win like this. We didn't. You want to bring up New York? Well, guess what happened with New York? New York didn't have Jonquel Jones. New York didn't have Phoebich. Okay, so that's not the New York team y'all face. Here, there's no excuses. I see not Physicality out there. I see Kayla McBride out there. I see Alana Smith out there. I see Courtney Williams out there. I see the whole Fever out there. Cheryl Reeves out there, everything. The Fever beat this team. Playing sound half-court defense, sound half-court offense, playing the passing lanes. You had the Minnesota Lynx ultimately with 13 assists, which is atrocious. You never see the Minnesota Lynx with 13 assists. This is a team, as I said, religiously lead the league in assists. 26 assists a game, 27 assists a game, like it's nothing. 13 assists. That's defense. I'm looking right now at the way Aaron McDonald was hawking the hell out of Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams can't even get to her spots comfortably right now. You've never seen that with number 22 in there. Sydney Colson right now. All right. She a little long in the tooth. I get it. But guess what? She got rings. And she know what winning ball is and looks like and feels like. This team did something without Caitlin Clark that y'all never would have predicted. I'm talking to you CC fans like me. I possibly would have predicted it. Because I'm under no illusion. Right? Probably would have y'all never would have predicted this. So right now, this is what Stephanie White can do to Caitlin Clark. With the ring on. Right? Caitlin Clark's got to kiss the ring right now. You got to kiss the ring. And whatever guidance I give you and instruction I give you, you need to be following. You need to be saying, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Caitlin, I need you to play off the ball. Yes, ma'am. Caitlin, I need you to try to play defense. Yes, ma'am. Caitlin, I need you standing in the corner right there on this particular play. Yes, ma'am. That's the only thing y'all should be wanting to hear from Caitlin Clark. She has no room to talk anything right now. No pouting. No acting like a baby. No crying for her way. No going into the media and saying, well, we played Steph, wanted us to play half court. Her little passive aggressive LeBron-y bullshit, where she's really trying to send a message to y'all so that y'all get on Stephanie White, hoping that her little minions of non-basketball knowing ass fans and content creators will get on the job to try to pressure Stephanie White to just let her have her way, right? This right here changes all of that narrative. You need to listen to Stephanie White right now, little girl, because you don't know shit. I know you in that age range right now. That age range, you see what, 23, 24, 22, 23, where you think you know everything, but you don't know shit. That's the age range you in, Caitlin. You need to listen to this older lady, okay, who know basketball, who done seen it all, and then did more, done been through more. And then maybe you can win it. We can win something finally. Maybe. And pretty much, that's what I got. Now I'm gonna go read some of the last final comments, and I'm out. You know why? Because I got some buttery biscuits right now waiting for me, and I got 2 ribeye steaks that are an inch and a half long that have been marinating for me over the last hour, and I got to get to that. I'm not going to sit here and eat that in front of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know some of y'all like that kind of shit, which is weird. Just messing with y'all. Anyway, all right, so we got Tim Johnson back. Okay, I know this is about to be some bullshit. What he says, Philan, these CC haters who are claiming it was fixed are the same ones screaming it are better without CC. Well, they're CC haters, right? Or they're people that are tired of the CC overpraising, and they're either somewhere between being more realistic about CC or maybe being haters of CC. Right? It takes a lot for me to consider someone a CC hater. Though there are a few that I've met. I don't think most people are like CC haters. Like, if you just oppose the popular narrative they put out there, that shouldn't be enough for you to be a hater, right? Now, if you make fun of her looks or that type of stuff, then I think that's more of a hater, right? I'm not saying they're better without her, but they just beat the best team, arguably, or the second best, or the best team, arguably, in the league without her. That's significant. And therefore, I don't want to hear nothing about them players ain't no good, and if she need better players, she need more help. I don't want to hear nothing about she need a better coach. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You got everything you need. There's no excuse to not win a title. This is what was been proven right now. You're the 4th best player in the league, supposedly. You're the number 1 in fan voting, okay, and all of that shit. You're a captain on the All-Star team. You're a starter. You all of that, right? You better win a title this year. You better at least make it to the finals. There's no excuse. Y'all just beat the Minnesota Lynx in a game with everything on the line. There's money on the line here. And he did it without you. You come back and they lose? I just want to know what can be said. Jared Thomas says, Philan CC in the locker room was jumping around with the team like crazy and chugging champagne. Well, that's good. That's good that she's not like a hater hating on the team. She doesn't really see the big picture. So that's good. You got to be like that with your team. Happy. I'm happy you guys. We did it. Some of them mighty mind like, you ain't gonna do shit. And we hoping that you can come in here and not fuck this up. Really? Some of them back in their mind are thinking that because they know their minutes going to go down, their usage rate is going to go down, their numbers are going to go down when her ass come back because she got to get her numbers. She got to have her double doubles. She got to have her sometimes triple doubles. She got to have her usage rate and all of that. So don't think in the back of their mind some of them players ain't like, you know what I mean? You missed 7 games, you trying to get this champagne. You know what I mean? But I will give you the one point. Her helping them beat New York Liberty did have something to do with this. Even though what's crazy is they beat the New York Liberty and Caitlin kept them in it in the first half. But the first half was actually close. And she didn't do much in the second half. Like if we really do a deep dive at that game, which I'm not going to do right now, but that's for those who say, well, they wouldn't have been in this situation if it wasn't for her playing like that in the New York game. I don't know. Because look at her in the second half of the New York game. It's KK21. Hey, it's KK21. CC before giving tips in a swig out of the big cup was a riot. Fulan sound. Hey, haha. They locked them up, man. Yeah, I feel you. See, refs also allowed one-sided bulky ball. I hear you, Felicia. They can't play defense like that with CC McDonald. Needs to start, but it won't happen. Exactly. See, if she played, they would have lost. I don't know. Philan, the Fever showed they're more balanced team without CC. They have better ball movement without CC. Eric McDonald played in more of a traditional point guard and directing offense. All that is true, James. The Tim Johnson says, so why folk crying was fixed when CC didn't even play? Because I think that's more, Tim Johnson, I think that's more people thinking highly of the Lynx more so than the Fever. Like people saying it was fixed because they can't believe the Lynx were that bad. I think it's more of that sort of thing. This is fact, not opinion. Fever averaged 12 more points with CC. Not so what? What doesn't matter how many points you average if you lose the fucking game because your defense is worse and you're giving up more points. Oh, Israel! This guy gets on my nerves. There's offense and there's defense. So you're saying you're more impressed if I score more points on offense, but even though I'm giving up more points on defense and I'm a 500 team than if I'm a defensive team holding you back but scoring just enough points to win. That's good basketball to you. You think it's better. They're better because they score more points? Bruh. Yo, I'm just going to ignore your comments. Because you get my blood pressure up. You get my blood pressure up with that stuff. You get my blood pressure up. All right. Multi Coffee 123 says, wasn't CC sending low-key subliminal shots at White during one-point game interview saying they need to push the ball more? Felicia Davis, they don't get it. It's them we don't like. The toxic portion of her fan base and those that think she's perfect the way she is and don't need to improve. The ones that constantly insult AR5. Exactly, Felicia. Chris Renda says, I understand the turnovers, but she still makes players better. For example, Boston averages 11 points with CC off the court and 18 on the court, though. All right, y'all talking about Boston's averages. Oh, God. It's a couple ways to deal with that. Actually, um, is Leah Boston a worse player without Caitlin Clark? I don't think so. I'm looking here; she's dominant to me, even though it's not 30 points and all that. Right? There's dominance with just your presence out there, affecting what's happening, like just taking up space, grabbing boards, playing interior defense. There's a number of things that you do that I look at that maybe you're not trained to look at. You're just trained to look at a fucking box score. Oh yeah, she averaged 18. She's here. 11. She's not there. Right? When it comes to that, I see them helping each other. Right? You can see, so you can say, well, Boston won't have 18 points unless CC out there. Well, CC might not have 9 assists without Boston, right? So they help each other. That's not a one player needs the other thing. They both help each other's stats. If we're gonna look at stats, okay, I care about winning the fucking game. What is their percentage? Their winning percentage when they're both on the floor. That's what I care about. That's what I care about. Okay, with Caitlin Clark, with Caitlin Clark, they are a 500 team. They were last year, and they are now. Okay, why this is significant? Because without Caitlin Clark, they're still around that. But without Caitlin Clark, they just beat the Minnesota Lynx. This is a significant win. It's a significant win. That's the point I'm making here. I don't care that it was a low scoring game. So what? You think the goal is to go out and score a lot of points, or is it to win? Oh man. Whoo! Good lord. James Wilson said Minnesota just didn't play well. Fever did. Could be. Howard played well along with Balls and both played physical. Collier, Williams, and McBride just didn't produce. It could be. It's a hell of a game to not produce in when you got the Commissioner's Cup and you got money on the line. That's the only thing I would say. Tim John says, Flan, keep it 100. Where was KM first half versus New York? CC carried the first, KM carried in the second. I don't give a shit. What does it matter? Though that's a fact, and it's not like this is the thing, right? Caitlin Clark scored damn near 30 points in the first half. Because she scored 30, there ain't much room for other people to score. Right? It's not going to be Harry Kelsey Mitchell not going to both score 30 in the first half. Because then nobody else does anything. That's any game where one player. See, the reason I don't care about that New York game, and I'm gonna tell you why. You cannot, and I don't understand. This is like the third or fourth time somebody brought up that stupid ass fucking game. Listen, that was the greatest game Caitlin Clark probably ever played as far as scoring. Why? She was like damn near 8 of 10 from logo 3. Right? Those are games that we consider outlier games. That's not going to happen on a regular basis. In a series, I doubt if it would happen twice if you played in a series against a team. Those are outlier games where she just was hot. It's called on a heater. I'm hot. It's those games where the rim looks like the ocean. She had one of those games. One of those halves. It's true. The team wasn't playing well. And I would say this when I reviewed that game. This is what I said. Caitlin Clark sparked the hell out of the team with her first half performance. That motivated everybody else to play better the rest of the game. So I gave her credit for it. But what is this? Well, Kelsey Mitchell wasn't there. What do you mean? And so what? So she was there in the second half. What's it matter? Right? Why does she have to be there the whole time to prove what point? Right? It's a team. All right, you hot right now? Hey, Caitlin, keep shooting. Keep shooting till you miss. That's the way it works when a person's on a heater. Shit, keep shooting. Truth though, second half, we kind of got more closer to realistic Caitlin. Like that Caitlin. It's what it is. And Sabrina met the match. Sabrina scored 34 that game. People don't remember. Sabrina going. And then Kelsey Mitchell kind of took him home. Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But it doesn't have to be a her versus her thing. They're on the same team.
And you're right, Luciano. That contact before the shot clock expired. Cunningham is going to go to the line for 2. And you've been praising the play of key reserves for Indiana.
Anthony Jackson, Israel Vanilla comes with another point. How about this? Without CC, the Fever lost the Suns, Sparks, and Wizards. CC don't lose games versus Boston bottom teams. That's a fact. Are you sure about that? And are you talking about Connecticut Sun, Sparks, and Wizards? So she doesn't lose to bottom teams. They just beat the fucking Lynx. You talking about they don't lose to bottom teams? CC don't lose to bottom teams. That's your point. I'm not even gonna answer that. I'm not even gonna respond to that. I just think it's you just fishing for anything right now. You just fishing for anything. Because one could also argue that bottom teams don't require you to have a great defense. So of course, never mind. I ain't got time for it. You like I said, you just worked on blood pressure. Like you said to kill me. I think you said to send me to the hospital. Jim Johnson, Flan, since CC has been in the league, what's their wins and losses with and without her? I don't know. I know they're a 500 team. Last year they were a 500 team, and she played every game, right? And right now they're about 500. That's what I know. Okay, she missed 7 games, whatever. It's not the number. How significant is it? And then let's say, for example, they lost more without her. You know what happens when you have a set 5 players, you have a set roster, and then you take someone with a 32% usage rate out. Now you got to adjust to time without that player. You're going to have to, though you might be able to be a what you call it, a competent team without her. It's an adjustment period. You're not going to immediately the next game as soon as she out just get running. It just doesn't work that way. You're not going to just be on automatically. They have to adjust to playing without Caitlin. So you might lose a couple of games en route to getting to the point where you're competent. So that number would mean nothing to me. It means nothing because in team basketball, you got to adjust. It depends on the opponent. It depends on a number of things. That number would mean nothing to me. Just me. Seaglade says Fever can still improve. Fever better improve. They are on a 11-woman roster. They can sign one more player. If they waive Turner before the cut player deadline, they can sign 2 players. Use those roster spots. Okay. So Tim John says because you mentioned it, bro, you try to diminish what CC did. It helped win the game. Yeah, it did help them win the game. 30 person scored 33 points. Yeah, it helped them win the game. Yeah, it did. But I'm not trying to diminish it. You have people that came here, like Courtside Junkie actually came in here, and he talks about it like, you know, um, that they still got to give Caitlin credit for this game because without her, they wouldn't have been in this game, right? And what I'm saying is maybe not, right? If you look at what she actually did in the second half of that game, they played well without her. So it isn't like she carried them in that game. She just was hot in the first half. Let's just call it what it was. But with her being hot, they only had about a 2-point lead. Whereas in the second half, they were able to get a double-digit lead with her not being hot. Right? So those are the things you got to those are the things I'm looking at. But as I've told you, I'm not ready to say they're a better team without Caitlin Clark. I haven't said that. I do believe they're a better defensive team, but as far as offense, they're still trying to figure out a way to balance between what Stephanie White wants to run as an offense and the way Caitlin Clark is most comfortable playing. They're still working that out. That's all I'm saying. I think, excuse me, I had to plug this in. I think the ceiling is higher with Caitlin Clark. Okay, the ceiling is higher. But this, for me, is the most impressive win by far. More impressive than the New York win because the New York win was without Jacquel Jones and without Phoebus. Those are important players. When you play New York in the playoffs, you're more than likely going to have Phoebus and you're going to have Jacquel Jones. This is a completely, from what I understand, healthy Minnesota Lynx team, and it's for uh, some money. That's why this is more impressive to me. You see, I've never seen a player jumping around spraying champagne like CC with a groin injury.
16 points,
uh,
12
oh
boards, 4
boy,
assists.
is this the hemorrhoid treatment channel?
Houston another double-double with 12 points
Let me
and 4
see. Let me
rebounds.
see what I'm gonna do with you.
Great
I'll
streak
just put you in
points.
timeout.
Gonna be
I'm not
disappointed
gonna
in his teammate
hide you from the
Lynx.
channel yet.
And everyone who's watched this Minnesota Lynx team knows how good they are, how they compete, how hard it is to win in this building. What an effort.
There's the hardware.
Real money says Fever might not have to go through New York. Yeah, you never know.
Well, Aaliyah, your head coach,
You
Stephanie
never
White,
know.
has a motto. She says, pressure is a privilege. You came into the former champion's house and took them down on their home floor. How does it feel to bring Indiana their first championship?
It feels great. We knew that we had to come here for
A highest houses. I think Coach White might end up quitting before the season ends. You can see the frustration in her face. You can.
That
I
gave
don't
you the
know.
confidence to come
No, I
out there
think
and
she wants
take
to take
down
on
the
this
first team
challenge,
in the
man,
country.
and see what she could
we
do
knew
with
we
it.
were capable.
But all
It
right,
was
y'all.
just
Man, I
one of
thank
those
everybody
things.
for coming
So first
through.
of all, coming here, doing a little
I got the
research,
roll.
doing my
Like I
homework,
said, man, I got two
understanding the
ribeye
team,
steaks right now waiting for me, calling me, and I got some buttery southern biscuits, the flaky types that I got to get to. So,
Both of you guys,
peace out,
personal
everybody, man.
double-doubles.
Thank you for
How did
coming
you
along.
guys get freed up? And for you especially, how'd you get going late in this game?
it started with Tosh. Tosh